Hi all my crafty yarny friends, welcome to Jana's Crochet Journey. Today is Wednesday, August 23rd, 2023. Thanks for coming back and watching to see what I have been up to. I appreciate all my new family members and those that come back video after video and chat with me in the comments. It's really nice to have some people who show up and comment every video. So I really haven't been doing too much. I know I say that all the time, but seriously, we're kind of winding down at work. Trying to finish summer cleaning to get ready for when school starts. And I've been doing a lot of painting and I'm tired. Tired of being on the ladder. Oh my God, my body. Whew. Anywho, so yeah, I started 3 new projects. I know I shouldn't have. But these are 3 patterns that I had set to the side in this pile of patterns that I want to get to and make. And then once these 3 are done, while trying to get my WIPs completed that need to be, I sit here and I look at some of the yarns that I really want to use. So instead of like this time going with the patterns and then picking the yarn, I think next time I want to pick the yarn and then find a pattern, because it really isn't like, where was that dog days of summer August here in Western New York? Like, you know, normally it's so hot, like you sit on the toilet and you're sweating. I mean, it hasn't been that warm. So anyways, I have some thicker yarns behind you that I really want to get using, because I want to see if I can empty some holes in my bookshelves. So the first new WIP that I'm going to show you is, now I've made a couple of dresses from Bag O Day before, but I can't remember which ones. So I wanted to make some small things that I mentioned before. So I thought, why not start having some baby dresses? And I have a bunch of I Love This Cotton, and it's mixed in there somewhere, or up higher, I don't know. And I decided to see if I could make up a couple dress sets, and I can make like the little headband, and I'm not sure about the booties or not. I have one pattern that I always seem to go to, but they look more like socks, which I'm fine with, but I don't know if I'll just do the dress and then a headband. But this pattern is, I bought, when Crystal was selling her patterns on the hard drive, I bought the hard drive, and then I went through and all the ones that I knew I would make, I printed out and put in a binder. So this one is her crochet strawberry shortcake baby dress pattern, 0 to 6 months. But I'm not using the red color. And then I have another one on the back side, which is also 0 to 6 months. I hope you could see that pattern. It's 515, and I figured I got home from work, had my coffee, took my shower, and then I was gonna sit down and do this, but then my cat was meowing for her dinner, so then I had to get up because nobody wants to try to hear me through a video and have my cat meowing in the background. So, let's see. I used a 5mm hook, and that's what Crystal calls for. I have not decided what I'm going to border the dress in. I'm not sure if I have white, and I love this cotton. I have to do a little digging. I do have a multicolor that has this color in it, but I think it'll look a little cheesy. So I'll see what I have. Lord knows what I got hanging around up there. So this is, I love this cotton in deep turquoise, and it's a 4 medium, 100% cotton. And I think this is such a pretty color. There are there are 180 yards in here, and I think Crystal said 315 for yardage. So I do have 3 of these, and then I have another color like this, but just a shade off. So I just finished row 7, and this is what it looks like so far. I haven't got very far on it, but I wanted to get the little dress started and create the armholes. And then I can't remember if the last time I made a little girl dress, if I bought the snaps or if I just did a button, because I'm not a fan of trying to sew on those little clasps, but I haven't tried it, but just the thought of it, I don't know. So we'll see if I end up doing the button or not. And then again, maybe some white, because you border the bottom and then around the neck and then the sleeves. So that's it so far, row 7. And I might work on that more towards the weekend, but we'll see. So the next project I started was, I knew that I was going to want to do more mosaics. I feel like I'm going to want a mosaic on the hook all the time because I love that technique. And I went on Ravelry, I think. I don't remember, honestly. And a creator called, her name is Sarah Athey Designs, Athey. I could be wrong. She has several mosaic patterns for sale. So I bought several, and this one is called Spiritual Flow, and I'm not sure how well you're going to be able to see the picture, but this is definitely a different style of pattern writing than I'm used to with like the cottage core and like the Havana blanket that I had previously done as well. It's just, I have to learn her style, and I struggled a little bit in the beginning, but then once I understood, I'm not too far, but I recently just started all 3 of these. So I'm using a 6mm hook, and I decided to use shades of blue. I talked about in cottagecore blanket videos that I should have used maybe the same color with different shades. So that's what I'm trying with this blanket. So I'm only on, so the bottom, you do one row, not one row, one small section, and then you start the first part of the pattern. So I'm on, which looks like a wolf, and the paw print, I don't know if you can see that on the bottom. So that's the part I'm doing right now. And again, I haven't got very far, but now that I understand, and I did have to frog it a couple times until I was getting the hang of it. So for the first little section, so my main color throughout the whole blanket is going to be Big Twist Sapphire, because I have 5 skeins of this, and it might not be enough, but this would be the only reason that I would cave in and buy yarn this year, which I have not done so far. You know, I could just go online and order from Joann's and have it delivered. But that's my main color. And then in the first little design, it was this, was it cerulean blue? C-E-R-U-L-E-A-N blue. And then in the second section, I used the sapphire and varsity blue. So I have finished up to row 9, which is not very far, but it's okay. So you chain 162, and then when you get started, you end up with 160, because the 2 on the ends don't count in the pattern repeat. So this so far is just what I have. You can see this lighter blue was so many rows, and then right now this doesn't look like anything because I haven't been doing it very long. So in the length of this blanket, and I have a stitch marker because once I do the first repeat, my last stitch better end where this stitch marker is. If it doesn't, I know that I've messed up somewhere and I'll go back. And that way I'm not getting all the way to the end and realizing there's a mistake and have to rip the whole thing out. And then that would be from here to here is the next repeat, and then this one. So it's 3 repeats of the pattern, and then the row is done. So it's pretty long. I mean, I can stretch my arms out, and it has some sag to it, so I've shrunk to 5/7, so this will be a little longer than that. So far, so good. It really doesn't look like much right now, but as long as it's working out, I'm happy with it. I still have to pick up the cottagecore and get that finished, but I wanted to get this started with the shades of blue because I was just excited about the pattern and wanted to get to it. Then the last new project I started was, this pattern is by Red Heart. It's called Pretty Squares in a Row Bed Throw. And you use 4-weight yarn, and this is specifically for Red Heart ombre. And I thought, how perfect, because I only have 3 colors in one of my cubicles, but I wanted to use it because it was just another yarn, and I love to see how the ombres play out when you're using it. I'm not sure if this pattern is on Yarnspirations now that they kind of took them over. I know I'm shaking the camera, sorry, I'm gonna move the table. I don't know if you can find this anymore, but again, this was the pattern, and it was free back when I downloaded it and printed it, and it was in my stack. Now this pattern, you can make it anywhere from a single up to a king. It just depends how many you chain. And okay, correction, I don't remember how many chains the Mosaic one was. This is the one that chained 162, and when you turned and made your first double crochet, you were down to 160. I knew that didn't sound right, but sorry about that, folks. The Mosaic will tell you how many to chain. I just don't want to flip through my pages and mess up where I am. Anyways, so I am using Red Heart Super Saver Ombre in Fuchsia and Big Twist Magenta. Now, it has you make 2 panels, and then for a single you make 5 of these squares. So this is the Red Heart Super Saver Ombre in the fuchsia, and this is my first skein still, and this is where I'm at. Now, I only went up the first time half a hook size when I made the chain. Gosh, I hate how that buckles like that. So yeah, I love how it changes color on its own. I only went up to a 6.5 for the chain, and then I got maybe 6 rows in, and it was going boop. And I'm like, oh, just keep going, it might straighten itself out. Well, 2 more rows and I felt like getting worse and worse, so I ripped it all out. I got an 8mm hook, redid the chain, then I went back to my 6, and now it's you know, it's not curving as much. There is some tightness, but that's the foundation chain row does that a lot. But I'm using stitch markers just to make sure I have the correct count, because I don't want to get along in the process and have messed up, because I hate frogging. And then the Big Twist Magenta is my square, and again you make 5 for a single, so I made up 1 just so you could see what it's going to look like. And again, this has got some curl and wave to it, but let's give you the right side. So there's that. You could see kind of like the petals of a flower. And then you just leave a long string because you will attach the 5 in a row, and then it looks like the panels will go on either side. And then I'm not sure what else you do because I haven't looked that far ahead. If I don't feel it's long enough, then I could always do another panel or another set of 5, just change it up a little bit. But I think that's really pretty. You kind of got to pay attention and keep track of where you are, but it is very easy. And if I can do it, then y'all can do it for sure. So that is it, my friends. That's my 3 new WIPs. Now I need to set them in front of me, but to the side, and I need to pick up the cottagecore and get that rolling so I can call that done soon. And yeah, who knows what else I'll start and get into by the next video. But please like, subscribe, share if you want to, and I appreciate everybody who stuck around. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye.